This is the Opal Scorpion 2.1.0 patch notes. Overview. This update includes 5 new maps, multiplayer changes, new cosmetics, and additional gameplay and quality of life improvements. So, before you guys get your hopes up, there is no new battle groups, there is no new units being added this patch. However, 5 new maps is significant, and it's the most amount of maps I think we've ever had in any one update. Right, straight on to the new content and features. There is 4 brand new cosmetic skins for the one for each faction. So the US get Amphibious Assault, Wehrmacht get a War-Torn skin, the British Forces get Desert Rose, which is kind of like a pinkish skin, which looks a bit weird. The Africa Corps gets some Desert Cat skin, okay? And we can do a showcase of those, what they look like later. Actually, do we have like a quick preview of that? 3 new skins. Has anyone got a link potentially for the new skins? Oh, here we go. Yep. So this is what Amphibious Assault looks like for the Americans. This is what the War-Torn skin looks like. This is what the pink Desert Rose skin looks like for the British. Not sure if I like that, to be honest. And then Desert Cats for the Africa Corps. I kind of like this one. Black and kind of like an orangey, dusty kind of colour. Now, we'll have to look into this a bit more deeply, but I doubt these skin patterns cover every single one of the units in the faction. It'll only cover a few, I think, but we'll have a look. But that's that. Okay, and then also exclusive Night Fighter packs. Previously, the Night Fighter cosmetic was exclusive to players with Prime Gaming subscription. After the Opal Scorpion update, they will now be coming to the in-game store. These sets will roll out gradually over the coming weeks and months, meaning all players will finally be able to collect them all. These packs will be available for either merit or war bonds. Also, point is that the new cosmetics are also available with merit or war bonds, which is good as well. Reddit could have just said you can only buy these with war bonds, but they've given players the option if they've accumulated enough merit, you can actually obtain them through merit, which is good. So I'm glad that they've done that, but we'll have to see how much each set will cost. I have a worrying feeling that it's going to be ridiculous, like maybe 20k merit for each one of these sets or something, but we'll see what it will be. Right, on to the new maps. So there is one 1v1 map, 2 2v2 maps, a 3v3 map, and a 4v4 map being added. So first one is the Tuscan Vineyards, a community map maker K-Pen. Hey, good old Keith. Returns with his competitive 1v1 map set in a lush Italian landscape. Players will be fighting in and amongst dense hedgerows and exposed river crossings to secure victory in this beautifully realised battlefield. Sweet. Okay, and then we've got El Alamein, this turning point in the war in North Africa. This infamous yet seemingly insignificant rail stop was a must-have addition to Company Heroes 3. Sweet. So we'll go over these briefly, and then later on in this video, I will go into the maps and do a quick overview of them when we actually update the game. Lorraine, that's an old Company Heroes 1 map, I remember. Yes, this, if I remember, Lorraine was a bridge map, I think. Yeah, it was like bridges and like 3 kind of crossings, and then on the left-hand side, it was like its own little island kind of thing, if I remember right, Lorraine. Gabe's Gap seems like a brand new one. And then Red Bull Express, that's again a classic Co 1 and Co 2 map, so that's come back. And then multiplayer map quality of life improvements. Okay, so you can read that in your own time there if you want to look at that. Right, here we go. On to multiplayer change. This is what everybody is interested about. Okay, here we go. Breach. Breach is difficult to use due to several issues that we have identified. Length of time. Breach locking the player's unit out of commands once it begins. Breaching units need you to walk through the door once the enemy has been forced out or exited the structures. So, these issues caused Breach to punish the player using it. It felt unresponsive and did not punish the opponent for losing the building as they would have plenty of time to either respond. Yep. So now what happens with Breach? Breach can now be cancelled at any stage, allowing you to break away from the door if required. Breach has been significantly sped up with the ability taking around 3 seconds to cause damage and kick the enemies out of the building now. Units that are breaching will teleport into the building if the enemy exits, rather than emptying to walk in through the doors to complete the animation. Units that are breaching move 50% faster as they approach the doors. Breach is now a standard cost of 25 munitions for all units. Breach causes a grenade call out for the opponent, and they will receive an event cue that their building is being breached. Good. Breaching no longer always kills 2 or 3 models. Now each model has a 25% chance to die. Oh, wow. So potentially the whole squad could get wiped if the 25% chance, you get the 25% chance on all the models. Unlikely, but it is possible. That's pretty nasty, actually. Well, so they've now changed it more. It's more RNG now, which I don't necessarily agree with, but you can jump out the building so you can avoid getting that 25% chance. Ali says it's highly unlikely, but what's the chances of like losing your whole Panzer Pioneer squad or Panzer Jaeger squad in a 250 when it dies? I've had that happen a few times where I've lost the whole squad when the vehicle blows up. Breach should no longer cause the team weapons to occasionally get stuck. Breach deals 40 to 60 points of damage to everyone in the hull when it occurs if they were not killed, so they get hurt anyway if they don't die. So really damaging breach now. Cancelling the breach will put a 10-second cooldown on it. Right, territory and a vision point changes. Capture points offer too much vision, allowing players to see the attacker's units if they pass by a territory point. We want reconnaissance units and ability to play a greater role in identifying what kind of unit the opponent has in an area. To facilitate this, we are reducing the vision range on points massively. Wow, from 6.5 to like nothing. So you're not going to be able to really tell now what's capping the point unless they literally go up and touch the point with the squad. So yeah, the points themselves are going to be really, not going to be good vision. I'm pretty sure there's an ability though for a commander, I can't remember what it is, or for a battle group that gives more vision radius on points. I wonder how that is affected by this. Right. Non-lethal smoke and flare abilities from vehicle and artillery units. We have made improvements to several non-lethal weapons to bypass a weapon's reload time. These changes are meant to make it easier to display smoke screens during combat when units have already fired a shot. Okay, that's cool. Nice. That's cool, that's cool. That kind of reminds me back of the days of Code 2. So this is hopefully going back to where Code 2, with the way you were using Code 2 with smoke with vehicles and things like that, where it would be instantly fire off the shot. It wouldn't like wait for the reload. Right, friendly fire. Currently, the players can call in artillery or throw grenades on top of their own units, dealing significant reduced damage to themselves, but full damage to the enemy. This caused situations where dropping a grenade or artillery on top of yourselves was a way to win an engagement. Yeah, like with the British flare artillery on top of yourselves. That was insane and stupid. We've just allowed friendly fire interacts with the player's own its weapons, certain abilities and weapons that will now deal full friendly fire damage to their owner's forces. Great. Forcing players to be more careful with where they target their abilities. This does not impact friendly fire against allies, which is still reduced. Nice. Right, capture behavior. We have made some adjustments to capture behavior to make it easier to retain cover positions. Current position if they are already capturing, and units will be less likely to pile up on the point directly, instead of opting to stop once they're within a certain distance of the capture point. When units are given a command to capture, they are given a capture command and are not on a capture point. Squad entities no longer stack on the center or beyond the capture point with direct capture commands. Okay, cool. Right, that's good. Placements. So what about static artillery emplacements are too vulnerable to mobile artillery units that can move away after delivering a barrage, but also being susceptible to off-maps enemy assaults. Due to these issues, we are raising the resilience of artillery emplacements against on-field artillery. These changes, combined with the reduced health of mobile infantry, are now to allow static artillery units to better absorb and counter on-field artillery barrages while remaining vulnerable to traditional threats like direct attacks and off-map. So artillery emplacements now take 50% less damage from on-field medium-heavy rocket artillery. Was previously 25. Okay. Yep, that makes sense. I guess, yeah, because they are, they've got the downsides, they can't move, so they should be a bit more durable. Grenades. Basic grenades are underwhelming. Their damage drop-off was often too high, and moving slightly from a grenade center would cause damage to change drastically. We are making a change to improve the general effectiveness of basic grenades by reducing the damage drop-off between near and mid-radius and improving the kill radius slightly. While still retaining the significantly lower damage at the edges of the explosion, this should make direct hits on units more rewarding. Rifle grenades have been changed to function differently, having considerable kill radius but deals limited damage past the zone and has small blast radius overall. Okay, we'll see how grenades work then. So infantry section, get grenades, 20 more damage. Yeah, so this is just all the changes here. Okay. Light mortars and light infantry artillery, blah, 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 blah. Light artillery is a little weak in terms of power. Station units can easily move out of the barrage or radius. Right, let me just double check, is my game updating? Should be updating now. Right, light artillery is a little weak. 4 to 5 seconds to arrive would have been fired. So more projectiles. Now always arrive at their destinations after 2.5 seconds. Heavy mortar projectiles that are not flared always arrive at their destination after 3.25 seconds. Pack howitzers, their speed has been increased by, it's basically double the. So yeah, so these kind of like rounds are going to be landing quicker, so it's going to be harder to dodge. In a nutshell. Camouflage, right. Delay for elite camouflage reduced from 0.5 to 0. So regular units detection range is reduced back to 10 range. This will improve general stealth gameplay for units that rely on this feature, such as commandos. Stealth can be difficult for these units to utilize, as they could be spotted before they got into their effective range, while allowing German anti-tank guns to get their first strike bonus, as these units needed to slowly move to position with limited vision. Okay, so delay for elite camouflage, that's like commandos, and maybe I wonder if Jaegers will apply to that. Unfortunately, but they will be able to get into camo pretty much straight away as soon as they get into cover. So yeah, all units. So it's going to be harder to spot camouflage now because the detection range has gone down by 2.5. A reticule added for the stealth camouflage passive and toggle ability to display a rough estimate of when the units get detected. Oh, that's interesting. I need just to see what that looks like, because then it might be like you might know how close an enemy unit needs to get to you before you get detected. Shizu, thank you so much for the sub. Cheers, buddy. When the unit leaves cover, their camouflage UI indicator tick counts down. Germany chickens now get the first strike the moment they enter camouflage. Okay. Bunkers and fighting positions. Upgraded bunkers and fighting positions will retain their garrison feature to give units more viable positions to fight from. Can be garrisoned by infantry even in their upgraded forms. Provides garrison cover bonus for all variants. Sweet. So like mortar bunkers, machine gun nests and things, and German bunkers they can all garrison, which is pretty cool. Minesweeping. It was difficult for minesweepers to gain veterancy, so units that sweep mines without detonating now gain experience. Hey, that's good. Sweet. So there's what you get for experience. Nice. So far, some good quality of life changes I'm noticing here overall. Signal detection, the 221, the artillery tractor, and the jeep. We are creating counterplay against the signal detection ability found by several units by causing them to periodically appear in the fog of war, allowing them to be engaged by long-range units or artillery when the opponent knows signal detection is active. Previous version allowed for the gathering of intel without any risk, yet we want to maintain the long-range detection capability as they have limited direct combat capabilities. Players can now turn the signal detection ability off to prevent their units from revealing themselves. So when you activate it, it now reveals the user for 5 seconds, every 5 seconds. You can toggle it. Recon detection icons have been updated. Okay, so this will give opposing players the option to counter barrage these kind of like tractors or the jeeps, so they know where they are and take them out of range, maybe. Okay, some kind of like, so there's a bit of counterplay to it, which I think is fine. Okay. Wrecks. So what about wrecks? Most wrecks will now require one level higher to be crushed. Okay, so ultralight vehicles now requires light vehicles higher to be crushed. Yeah, okay. Heavy vehicles can't even be crushed at all. The grenade launch anti-garrison has been decreased. Okay, so the grenade launch, we have been seeing a lot of this grenade launcher spam lately, and they've nerfed it significantly here against units in garrisons, so that's nerfed by half. The towed and fixed artillery emplacements. So this is now 1 CP. That's the British Indian artillery there. The Obichi artillery emplacement is also now 3. That's from Italian coasters for the Wehrmacht. And this is a deck one, which is now 1 command point cheaper. It's still not the best artillery, but again, it's cheaper, so maybe might make you want to work it, bring it out because it's, you know, a bit easier to call on now. Snipers, they are now 30 seconds to build rather than 40. The 250, the light carried, okay, this is interesting, now functions even if the vehicle is moving. Oh, that's good. Right, that's a nice change. It's annoying having to be stationary. I want to be able to activate this and push my army out from the base, maybe. So now it's going to be active while moving. That's good. I like that change. Artillery, siphon, intel disruption beacons, and Luftwaffe relay no longer remain spotted in the fog of war on the minimap once discovered and the enemy loses vision. Okay, that's good. That's a buff to them. Mobile anti-tank guns. This is a small boost to anti-tank guns to make the Veteran C3 feel more powerful. So their fire rate has gone from 30 to 35%. Okay, so makes it even more important to try and keep your, your Veteran C anti-tank guns alive because they get the extra 5% boost to Vet 3 now. All right, now onto specific faction changes. We're now onto the Americans. Okay, right. So the captain is a vital unit for the US forces due to its powerful abilities. This has often led to the infantry support center being chosen over other support centers, which is also able to use the momentum of an extra unit to push the enemy. To create more build diversity, we are allowing the captain to be purchased from the headquarters after upgrading to any support center. This allows US players to always have the option to get the captain, while letting the infantry support center retain the free unit it gives. Right. Okay, so you can always get the captain now. Air Sports Center. We have made a change to the Air Sports Center by allowing the first bombing and strafing abilities to be free. This will allow players who've got Air Sports Center to shift early game engagements in their favour without needing to wait for munitions. What? How is that fair? How is it fair that they get a free bombing run and a free strafing run? I don't agree with that. That's a stupid decision. I don't think that's a good idea. It shouldn't be free. Like, because what you'll have happen now, everyone's going to go airborne in 4v4, and then there's 4 players all with a free strafing run and a free bombing run. That's just going to instantly mean that they just get the full control over the early game. And now, because they can get the captain, they'll have the captain out, and the captain, once it gets step 1, it'll have its off-map barrage as well. So there's even more off, that's a crazy choice. That's insane, man. Why on earth do they think that was a necessary change? I don't agree with that. I would like to see that, why they feel that is necessary to do that. Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea at all. I don't agree with that. Okay, designate for repair. Repair rate has gone up by 4, and now can repair structures as well. Okay, so it makes mechanized a bit more. So you can maybe, as it can repair structures, you might want to combine that with maybe going with a commander that can pop down, maybe you put down a mortar bunker nearby the repair station to repair it, or maybe the 105 artillery piece, or even your teammate structures kind of thing. Rapid repair upgrade is being reworked to focus on repairing large groups of vehicles around the forward repair station. Now causes the forward repair station to generate a repair aura within the range of 25. Okay, so they all repair. Okay, that's cool. Bars now. We can global upgrade no longer requires the support center to be researched. So you can get bars even earlier now? Oh my god. Okay. Mission based abilities per squad behind any support center being purchased. It's got lots of American buffs here, and they're already very good at the moment. Heavy barrels. A new upgrade has been added to the mech support center that gives a general combat boost to all American vehicles against infantry threats. That allows their machine guns to outrange threats like infantry and anti-tank. Newly up gun upgrade of the support center. So you take position of the up gun. So where does the up gun come from? Increases the range by +5. And additional rounds per burst by 25. And then the up gun's been moved just to the tank depot. It no longer requires mech support center, so every Sherman now can automatically be upgraded to a 76. Oh my god, the American buffs right now. Holy shit, dude. Wow. Okay, right. Hey, Croc, thanks, dude. Right, the truck. We have reverse 7 units of efficiency, so the accuracy bonus has been doubled there at vet 3, and gains more health, so it's more survivability. The anti-tank gun here, arm piercing round duration bonus replaced with arm piercing rounds, causing crew injury criticals. Crew injury criticals. What's a crew injury critical? There's only ever like slows and engine damages. So what's a crew injury critical? So just stop them from moving? It's a crew shock. Maybe it's a crew shock? Okay, that seems very strong as well. Okay, the Greyhound. Acceleration bonus changed to more rotation rate. Efficiency 3 range bonus now affects all weapons on the Greyhound rather than being restricted to machine guns. The Chaffee is faster. Bulldozer. Bunker Buster now fires a single high damaging shell with a time delay of 3.5 seconds. Damage is equivalent to a satchel charge against buildings, but is still lethal to units like team weapons and infantry. Damn, that's nice. Nasty. Scott, I feel like they're going to make the Scott more like the Scott in Co 2, and I already felt that the Scott in Co 2 was stupid. So the auto attack range has been reduced, so that it can now shoot a lot farther. 48, so they're going to be really good. The Weasel now has access to handbrake ability. And a pack howitzer arrives. Oh, it gets vet 1 automatically when it comes in with the pack howitzer. That means you can instantly convert it over to the one that gives you more resources when you capture points. Efficiency 3, drop cost reduction, self-repair. Self-repair ability always being active, even if the unit is moving. And wait, it can repair in combat? Wow, okay. Weasel buff. Okay, the howitzer auto fire adjusted to be around 10 seconds with auto fire. M3, Reckless Assault is now part of the unit without requiring veterancy. Full form positions now become as available veterancy 2 choice. Full form positions always enters cooldown when the exchangeable parts is used to convert. Right, it's onto the Wehrmacht. Right, okay, Kettenkrad. It's also had its communication visual range adjusted for the recent territory point change. It is slightly lower than before, but it's compensated by no vision by being provided by territory points to begin with. Points captured with the Kettenkrad with communication cables now has a UI indicator on point to show it is benefiting from increased vision. The communication vision bonus on points is from 7 to 12. Emergency 1 acceleration bonus change to rotation rate. Efficiency 3 now allows the Kettenkrad to be camouflaged even when moving. Okay, that's cool. And then I can, but I want to be able to spot with. You probably won't be activated spotting scopes kind of mode while moving though. Still, right. Gren's merge time has been massively increased up to a minute from 15 seconds. Their pop cap has gone up by 0.5. Their upkeep rather, so that's going to mean that you're getting less manpower overall during a game. That's quite significant. That the sniper veterancy 3 bonus has changed to 10 vision range and 50% rate of fire when attacking from camouflage. That 50% rate of fire is nice, actually. But trying to get a sniper up to vet 3 in the first place is pretty challenging. Right, Panzer Grenadiers. Received accuracy increased from 15 to 20. Weapon accuracy is buffed up to Panzer Grenadiers. Jaegers, their health has been reduced by 10. Manpower cost has gone up by 20, so nerf for them. G43 is buffed. G33 is buffed again. Concealment ability changed to slowing fire. That reminds me of like the Co 1 Panzer Elite G43 ability, which would slow enemy units trying to chase. So I wonder if that will affect retreating units as well, so you can maybe catch a squad and retreat and focus them down. I kind of like that actually. Slowing fire, that's a nice change. Slows Jaegers by 33%, but slows infantry and rifle hits by 33 as well. So you kind of nerfing yourself because it slows you. But that could be quite nice. I mean, if you're stationary anyway, and you're trying to stop an enemy unit that's really good in CQC, like commandos closing the distance, this could be the difference between you winning and losing that engagement, which is cool. Lasts for 15 seconds. Right, on the Stug G, the point blank blast has been reworked. It's now a timed ability that greatly reduces range to 15, but grants anti-tank, anti-infantry HE shells for 20 seconds. Weapon stats have been heavily adjusted to have less scatter, but lower direct damage output. Point blast has been reworked in time. The previous iteration was difficult to use. The vehicle to lock onto enemies. Okay, so Stugs might be, you're getting the Stugs up nice and close. It's very minimal range. So you don't want to be, like, up against units that can lob AT satchels and things like that on you. But that could be quite nice against other units that can't really fight you. Marders get more accuracy at Vet 1 rather than the acceleration. The Panzerstrick anti-tank weapon upgrade affects the Afrika Corps as well. So this is for the Jaegers. So the angle scatter is reduced. Attack ground will be more reliable, which is cool. That's good. Luftwaffe can now recruit a targeted abandoned weapon team and emplacements for 50 manpower. Can be salvaged for 75 manpower return. Units can not still fire out of this structure. Okay. Interesting. So Fallschirmjägers are now better as well. The accuracy bonus has gone up by 5. And again at Vet 3. They'll be better. The anti-tank Flex 36 is cheaper by 1 command point. So you better get that out sooner. The Wesp has been has lost 80 health, so that's going to make it really vulnerable against like a chaffy flank or something like that. Coastals, now a new ability added for Coastals. Strong Defenders grants the Coastal Squad a light machine gun when fighting from garrisons of Vet 1. And the Veterancy 2 weapon, they also got a straight Vet 2 bonus as well from 15 to 20. Interesting. So yeah, you want your Coastals maybe fighting from bunkers because I think they get like a Breda or something there. Okay, so that's the Wehrmacht changes. Now onto the Brits. Team weapon training. Now impacts emplacements. Health bonus provided to emplacements is 120 health. Provides the same rate of fire bonus as regular team weapons. And the company command post. Withdraw and refit and has 120 second ability recharge. Okay, so you can't always use it constantly. The Dingo, Veterancy 3, gets an extra 10 ability range. Rather than that, it's been changed to an extra 25% damage. Vet 3. Decoy flares no longer shares a cooldown with forward observer rod. So you could drop. Okay, so it's a buff to the Dingo. Wow, man. Like the Vet 3 change, I'm not too upset about because getting a Vet 3 Dingo, you want when it gets to Vet 3, it's kind of mid to late game and it needs to be a bit better then. But like I feel like it needed a nerf in the early game because it's still just so strong. So I don't. Yeah. Again, it doesn't feel like Relic are playing their own game because if you play 3s and 4s lately, every Brit player just spams like 2 dingoes each at the start, and it's just so hard for any Axis player to deal with that, especially if you're Wehrmacht. At least Dat can get a Panzerjäger out fairly quickly, but, Wehrmacht can't. Right, the CMP truck. So this will be the Polston. Sets up a bit 1 second faster. Bishop also received a considerable health nerf like the Wesp, so it's also easier to kill. Reload speed has been reduced. Barrage time has increased. It's going to take an extra 5 seconds to be able to fire again. The Bishop's nerfed. Foot guards also have breach now. Matilda, 30 more armor on the front of the Matilda. I think the Matilda was already pretty good, but now the Matilda is going to be even better. The Indian artillery emplacement. Artillery placement here. Precision shot change to forward observer air burst. 2 air burst barrages. Okay. The Centaur. New ability Hesh rounds. The toggle ability. Swap to Hesh rounds that fire in a direct line to targets rather than an arcing shell. Deals 80 damage on penetration. 40 damage on deflection and debuffs enemy vehicles on hit. Is that the same ability what the Code 2 Brit Centaur kind of had? Where it did like a strafing left to right kind of thing. We'll have to check that out. 2-pounder. Target weak point now immediately ends upon firing a single shot while the ability is active. It's still a timed ability of 10 seconds. Allow the player to use the ability preemptively in anticipation for an attack. Target weak point never misses though, so that's a buff, but normally when you activate target weak point, it would at least fire 2, maybe even 3 shells that would all be pens. So this is overall this is a nerf to the 2-pounder. Okay. The Canadian shock section. So the manpower cost has gone down by 20. They're also cheaper to reinforce. The projectiles barrage, they fire 1 more projectile, and it's cheaper. So buff to the Canadian shocks. Right, onto the DAC now. Last but not least, the DAC. Africa Corps. So LEIG, PAC 38, and the FAC 36. Team weapon. So we want to incentivize team weapon play for Africa Corps by allowing them to also benefit from the combined arms bonus. The Africa Corps already has a weaker team weapons, and they have been trouble keeping up with the mobile nature of the faction. The team weapons to gain... hang on, so the team weapons gain variant of the combined arms bonus. It replaces the 10% accuracy bonus with a 10% rate of fire bonus. Only applies if the player is Africa Corps. The motorcycle team now allows the binocular ability to always be active even when moving. Oh, that's good. Nice. Binoculars ability now has a UI status indicator to display the amount of time it takes for the ability to become active when the unit is stationary. That's nice. Quality of life change. So the Panzer Pioneers, they have lost the ability to lob smoke grenades now. But I bet 3 they gain extra 5 health. Okay. Panzer Grenadiers, their pop cap has been reduced by 1. Assault Grenadiers, ability cooldown increased from 50 to 75. Panzerjägers, right. The price and population of Panzerjägers is being reduced to help the Africa Corps deal with mobile vehicles and create more opportunities to use other cool-ins from the half-track deployment systems such as the Assault Grenadiers or anti-tank gun. By lowering their base price, this is more incentive to build the unit normally. So the population's gone down by 1. The manpower reinforcement cost has gone down by 4, and manpower cost reduced is to now 240. So you can build it from tier 2 to 240 instead of 275. Okay. That guns are now 33, 8% faster. Right, the flak feeling. Armor piercing ammunition now only increases penetration by 50%, slows debuff on target, and reduction on blast radius removed. So it's not a guaranteed pen. Right, hitting hard, larger target, more heavily armored targets, but it's still slow, which is important. It still will do really well against other things when it comes out. Piercing cost reduced. It's now a bit cheap by 15. Okay, the Marder gets 50% more accuracy at Vet 1. Right, the Carrow. The Carrow's veterancy ability no longer requires on grouping up large amount of Italian units, and instead, the Carrow becomes more powerful and dangerous in situations where it is closer to heavier vehicles. This creates more interesting gameplay where the player can choose to gain more power by closing with more dangerous targets. We also change the unit to now require an upgrade to activate its unique hull-mounted machine gun. This allows us to give the Carrow more power versus infantry, while still making cover and positioning of both the vehicle and the target important. Italian Vanguard changed against the odds. When the Carrow is near enemy medium and heavy vehicles within 20 range, it will fire 20% faster. Interesting. So having more this is encouraging maybe more of a Carrow spam. Maybe if you're diving in maybe on a Sherman or maybe a Pershing, you've got a better chance to kill it thanks to that 20% faster fire radius if you get behind it. It's now cost 50 munitions to get the machine gun. However, they have made it better. It's better accuracy. Also, the rate of fire is longer, and it's more accurate. Okay, we'll see if that's worth it. 8 rad turret. Horizontal traverse speed has gone up by 30, so it's faster. Long range penetration as well increased by 3. Okay. All right. Making it better against other, maybe things like greyhounds and half tracks and stuff like that. Maybe even the Stuart. Who knows? Goliath is faster at rotating as well. Right, the Stuka is now really low health. It's gone down by 40, so one shot or something will probably kill it from most tanks now. Creeping Barrage now forces a recharge time of 30 seconds rather than being available on a separate cooldown. Good. Creeping Barrage now covers a greater area, but now lands in a zigzag pattern with gaps between rockets. That allows players to maybe predict with a rocket where subsequent rockets are going to land and maybe go in the spaces where it's going to be safe. Stuka Barrage reticule adjusted for a new, larger zigzag pattern area of effect, and Stuka Creeping Barrage wind down reduced from 0.5 to 0.375. Okay, so there's a nerf for the Stuka. So it looks like all kind of indirect fire or mobile indirect fire, the Wesp, the Stuka, the Bishop are all been nerfed this patch, which is good because I thought they were too powerful. Panzerjägers, command rather, early warning. This change corresponds to the recent division power by territory points, passive vision range bonus from 5 to 10. So the Funk Wagon, let's see what happens. The aura now grants Cover Blaze Camouflage that adds a 0-second delay before activating and remains for 4 seconds when leaving cover. Increase the range by 20, so that's significant. The Intel Beacon has also gone up by 20. Units no longer automatically hold fire. Hold fire ability is given to units that lack it upon unlocking the battle group. Okay, that's cool. So you can hold fire manually. Intel Beacon's manpower is made cheap by 50. Intel Radio Beacon no longer detects enemy in range, only provides the camouflage aura. Okay, so it no longer detects, it just provides camouflage. And Siphon, reduced from 75 to 50, no longer reduces the territory points income. No longer places an indicator on the target that is being siphoned. No longer impacts capture or the decapture speed of enemies. Siphoning beacons were difficult to use since they gave away their position by telling enemies their point was being siphoned. And observant players would note the change to their income. While it could be powerful in certain situations, it required these beacons to pay off very quickly as they were inevitably be destroyed. So yeah, now players will have to actually pay attention to their income meter to see if it adds up, if they are being siphoned. So that could actually, siphoning beacons could potentially work now. And a bunch of bug fixes. All right, well, there we go, guys. That's the patch notes. What do we think? I feel like overall it's a crazy buffs to the Americans. Nothing is done to nerf the machine guns for the Americans. Yeah, I don't know why you'd play. I mean, like they get free. You get support. You get free like a bombing run and strafing run now, which is insane. Bars no longer require a weapon support center to unlock, so you can get bars early. They get captain now, regardless of whatever they choose, whatever battle group, whatever support center they go for. Whatever battle group you go for, you still now will be able to get upgun Shermans at tank depot. That's like, I mean, that's an insane amount of changes. So guys, that's the end of the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did and want more content, check up over here and over here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, make sure to click the button down here. To catch the next video, guys, take care, and I'll see you soon.